Okay, here's how we're making the connections. So, output 3 of the AXFX3, which hopefully that will focus in there for you guys to see. It's this one right here, is the red cable, and that is going into the input of the H9. If you want, you can run this in stereo, but I've got the H9 before any of my other stereo effects here, so that's kind of a moot point. Then the stereo outputs of the H9, the blue cables, are coming back to input number 3, so they are the physical connections. Let's have a look at how we can hook it up in the grid using AxEdit.
All right, let's have a look at the grid. As you can see, pretty standard input 1 all the way through to output 1. But what I have got, because I want to connect my H9 after the amp and cab, I am running a dry line from the cab into this multiplexer block. And then I'm running to output 3, which is then going to go into the H9, and then coming back through input 3, which is going to be the affected signal, and also running it into the multiplexer block. So what this lets us do in the multiplex block, if you've not experienced it before, is basically select between each of the 6 different rows. So at the moment I've got row 3, which you can see here, is the dry signal, and it sounds like this. Okay, if I select row 4, this is going to be this line here, which is running from the cab, going to output 3, coming back through input 3, and then connecting to the multiplexer. I've got a delay on the H9, so you hear a bit of delay now. And then if I wanted to change to, say, another patch on the H9, I'll go to patch number 5. This is a rotary speaker thing. It sounds like this. And of course, I can automate all of this so that the H9, if I've got a MIDI cable connected, changes as I change presets. But the nice thing about the multiplexer is, say on channel A on the multiplexer, I want it to be row 3, so the dry sound. If I then change to scene 2, I can change my multiplexer on scene 2 to be channel B, which I will set to row 4, which is going to be my affected signal. So I can easily switch scenes between scene 1, which is a dry sound, and scene 2, which is the affected sound. And I could repeat this, say if I wanted to use input and output 4 to have a bunch of different effects processors, I could have output 4, input 4, connect them into the multiplexer, and it gives me a very easy way to essentially use the AXFX3 as a switching system to bring different effects units in. And to be honest, I can get most of the sounds I get out of the H9 in the AX3 anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily use this, but there are certain algorithms and certain presets which you may like in your outboard effects that you just want to be able to use. So that is a quick and easy way to set that up and to have it automated with scene changes. Of course, if you set your H9 to kill dry, what you can do is, instead of using the multiplexer, use the mixer block, and you can blend in your dry and affected signal, which is pretty cool. Or you can just set this in a parallel row and blend in the amount that you want. Again, using like a mixer block or something, or in input 3, you can see that we've got an output 3, we've got a bunch of different level controls, so we can use those. But I think this is the most straightforward way to do it. So if you're using a H9, or using like a Strymon, or basically just any effect, set it up this way, and then you can put this anywhere you like in the chain, before or after the amp, and have some fun with your outboard gear with your AXFX3.